In the words of Liam Neeson from Clash of the Titans, release the Kraken!
Hello guys, welcome to this collab vlog with me, Pajak's Perspective.
Hey, how's it going? Harry's Honest here.
And we haven't done this for quite a while. We are here for a collaborative vlog about Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Today we've come to see this movie. There's fuck all else out at the moment, and most of what is out is disappointing as far as I'm concerned. So I'm kind of banking on this film before Elemental comes out and Mission Impossible. So do you have any expectations for this, Harry?
Yeah, I honestly think it looks like it could be Dreamworks' best since How's the Training Dragon 3 The Hidden Worlds. Please be praised.
I hope so too. I did enjoy the bad guys, but it wasn't amazing. So I'm hoping that this will be somewhat of a return to form, I guess you could say. And yeah, so we're going to go in and watch the movie. We'll be back shortly to let you know what we think of it. Yes. No spoilers.
Yes, see you soon.
Adios. Okay guys, so we've just finished watching Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, and I have to say, compared to the disappointments this summer, this is one of the best movies to come out recently. I mean, it isn't perfect. I do think there are problems, which I'll go into in the actual review, but yeah, I think it's fair to say we were quite surprised.
Oh, pleasantly surprised. This is easily the best post-House of Training Dragon 3 Dreamworks film for me. I mean, yeah, you feel, I love the girl power here. It's a heartfelt mother and daughter story, and I've got to say, that final battle was pretty epic.
Yeah.
If you were put off by the marketing, trust me, it will surpass your expectations. I'm surprised by the mediocre reception this film's getting. It's so underrated, I feel.
Yeah, it's a real shame, and the marketing hasn't done any favours. It deserved much better marketing, and it being released at the same time as Indiana Jones probably doesn't help, but still, it's good. I mean, it's not perfect. I think there are some characters that probably don't do that much, and some of the pace for me was a little slow, but the story's basic, and I do feel like the twist villain doesn't quite work, but aside from that, it's fun, and I think that's what all you need. It's a fun story, and it's got heart and soul, which more than I thought it would, so it's not just a dumb teen movie. There are teen elements to it. There's a prom in the story, and there's a subplot about Ruby, fancying some guy. Yeah, the only thing that confuses me is like, okay, so her and her family look blue. So how are they able to disguise themselves?
Yeah,
it's a little confusing.
Yeah, how was nobody at Oceanside asking them why so blue?
Yeah, as a wise man would say.
Yeah.
But no, genuinely, I preferred it to the bad guys, and I think it's one of the most fun DreamWorks movies in quite a while. Not as good as Puss in Boots 2 though. I still feel that's a bit better, but it's a great fun. Like you say, it's a girl power film. The grandmother character was nice as well. I feel like the male characters did get quite sidelined in the story, but it's fine. I mean, it is what it is, but I think Narissa the villains could have been done a little bit better, but that's just my thoughts. I think the twist villain thing, we need to just stop that, because it doesn't always work for me.
Yeah, and Narissa, she kind of looked exactly like Ariel from Little Mermaid, exact same design with the red hair.
Yes, I think it was definitely, and the story had similar vibes to Little Mermaid and Little Mermaid 2. So this is DreamWorks' sort of modern take on the Little Mermaid. I mean, everybody has like smartphones and they're tweeting, and even the sea captain has a smartphone, and he's tweeting about how wrong he was to berate the Krakens. But it's a good story, and it has good themes of like acceptance and obviously being a teenager and all of that stuff. So and you get some really nice mother-daughter scenes in the film, which I didn't expect. So it was better than I thought it would be. So yeah, and it was great to see it with you.
Pleasure to see it with you.
Yeah, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, this is honestly the biggest surprise of the year for me. Yeah, one of my favourites, certainly in terms of animation, so I'd honestly recommend it because it deserves to be doing better financially than it is, and I wouldn't mind sequels to this, because I think a sequel could be better.
Yeah, that would be good. Actually, I wouldn't say no to a sequel. And the animation, very colourful. I think they must have taken inspiration from Avatar because it did feel very Way of Water-esque for kids.
Bioluminescent colours.
Yes, the bioluminescence. I mean, it looked great on the big screen, the colours and everything. This would have been a good one for 3D, but fair enough. Anyway, we are done, so we will now go back to the reviews. But thank you very much for watching. This was Pajak's Perspective, and this is Harry Thomas. We will see you soon.
Adios, amigos.
Bye for now.
Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review the new Dreamworks animation film, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. This movie was directed by Kirk, DeMicco, and Faryn and stars the voice talents of Jane Fonda, Lana, Condor, and Toni, Collette. So, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. I had no intention of really seeing this movie until recently. It's been a real summer of disappointments, if I'm going to be completely honest. Most of the movies that I've seen this summer have really disappointed me. And I hate that. There's been one or two that have been good, and I'm glad to say that this is one of them. This movie turned out to be quite a nice surprise. It was actually quite good. Now, I'm not saying it's amazing. It's certainly not a perfect movie, and it's not God-tier Dreamworks, but I was pleasantly entertained and I was more surprised than I expected to be. So the plot is as follows. A shy adolescent learns that she comes from a fabled royal family of legendary sea krakens and that her destiny lies in the depths of the waters, which is bigger than she could have ever imagined. So yeah, like I said, this is a solid movie. I think Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken is a fun return to form for Dreamworks, which I actually kind of enjoyed more than The Bad Guys. But it is not a perfect film. I think the drawbacks to this film are particularly in the third act. Once again, we have another twist villain, and I don't like this cliche. Some things it does work, other things it doesn't work. This, it didn't work. The villain of this film, Nerissa, this evil sea queen, very much like Ursula from The Little Mermaid, just kind of wants to take this trident and rule the sea. This is kind of DreamWorks' reimagining of The Little Mermaid, if you like, just with a kraken. But Nerissa is a mermaid, and she disguises herself as a teenage girl to befriend Ruby in a disguise that does look very much like Ariel. Again, Little Mermaid vibes. Her reveal comes very late in the day and it's kind of predictable, and then she's just like, "Wahaha, I tricked you, I'm so evil, ah!" So I really did think that was underwritten and that could have been done a lot better. Also, the male characters in this film are quite sidelined. We have Ruby's dad, Ruby's brother, Ruby's uncle. Brill is actually the most developed male character, but even then he's not really developed. He is a fun side character, and when he's introduced, he does light up the screen, but the other male characters don't really get a lot to do. There is a sea captain character who is pretty fun, and the fact that the sea captain has a phone and can tweet things, live stream, that's kind of fun. I kind of like that little niggle. I do think, though, parts of this film confuse me. The world building, the idea that Ruby and her family used to live in the ocean, obviously, because they're krakens, and then the mother decided that they were going to move to the dry land, not that far away from the ocean, mind, because the ocean is dangerous. Although, again, this is an idea that is addressed in the movie. They do say, well, why the hell are you living so close to the ocean? And they're like, because, we need to keep moist. So there is that kind of joke there. But even so, she goes to school with humans, but she looks blue, and the others are human. And she fancies this human boy, and he kind of likes her, and it's very weird. They just kind of brush over that. They don't really establish the world building in terms of how this Kraken family are not perceived as Krakens. Like, why it's such a shock when she becomes a giant Kraken and everyone perceives her as a monster, yet we get this whole adolescent plot about her trying to fit in at school, which, okay, fair. But the fact that she already looks different, is that not enough to kind of springboard that story? I just found it was very strange, the fact that nobody was like, oh, she looks blue, she's different. They were just like, she has her group of friends, she has this boy, Connor, that she fancies. And it's only when she turns into a massive Kraken that people go, oh! I don't get that logic. I find that a little bit confusing. I would have liked the film to kind of explain more about that. That would have been better. However, what this film does have is heart, and I was very surprised how much heart that it had. It's clearly, this is a mother and daughter story, and also a grandmother and daughter story. It's very much a sort of girl powery film. There's a lot of feminism in this film, not like PC feminism, not like politically correct feminism, but feminism enough in terms of that it is more of a story about women, and it is probably aimed more at women. But I really did like the emotional relationship between Ruby and her mother. It's a classic case of mother and teenage daughter. You know, the teenage daughter wants to know more and is curious about things and really dreams of a life beyond her normal life, but her mother doesn't listen to her. Ergo, there's the drama. This film is very reminiscent of The Little Mermaid. It really is, in a lot of aspects, and in that sense it is a very big cliche movie, but I can't deny I was having fun watching it. The undersea world is very colourful, and they clearly were inspired by Avatar, because the bioluminescence of the animation is great, and it's great to watch on screen. You know, it's a real visual spectacle. It's definitely the best animation DreamWorks have had in ages. Despite the fact that I think the story is cliche and reminiscent of other things, it is fun, and it does have heart, and I think you can care about the characters. There's a nice family unit there. As for Ruby as a protagonist, I like Ruby. I don't think she's an amazing character, but I think she's good, and I think she's a relatable character, certainly for the audience that this movie is aiming for. I could really do without the whole teenage prom stuff. I don't think that's entirely necessary. If you're going to cut anything from the movie, cut that, because the pace of the movie was a bit slow in the first 10 minutes. I think it took a while before the main story got going, with Ruby discovering her heritage under the sea. All the stuff with her and Connor and her friends, it's kind of filler to me. It's kind of pointless. I didn't really get the same kind of vibe that I did from Turning Red, which Pixar made last year. But that being said, Ruby is a typical teenager. She's awkward, you know, she's quirky, she's nervous, she's adolescent, you know. It very much is a story about her coming of age and discovering who she is. And I think at that age, a lot of us do try to, you know, go on that journey. There's nothing that stands out about the movie, really. It's not anything groundbreaking, but it is fun. And I think the climax is incredibly entertaining when there's a massive Kraken battle. You know, Narissa takes on 3 Krakens. She takes on the mum, the daughter, and the grandmother. So, you know, there's quite a lot to enjoy here. So, as you can see, Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken it's a good film. It is neither the best, nor is it the worst DreamWorks movie. I also want to give a massive shout out to Harry Thomas Pictures, who I saw the movie with, and I hope you enjoyed the collaborative vlog at the start of this video. So Harry, thank you very much. Please subscribe to Harry Thomas. His review of this movie will be up very, very soon. So to close off this review, I am going to rate Ruby Gillman. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm feeling generous, you know, for some reason. So that's my review of Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below. Let me know. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more content to come in the future. And until next time, I'm Pajak's Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.